first practice after clearing COVID protocols. But, of course, the big story is that there's a game tomorrow night, Friday. Head coach Frank Vogel on getting the preseason underway against the Clippers.
We did add to the group today. We had almost a full roster at practice today. Alfonso McKinney is still out with an excused absence. And as far as tomorrow goes, Anthony and LeBron will not play. And some of the new guys are still to be determined. We haven't made final decisions on which guys are going to play which games, other than Anthony and LeBron will not play tomorrow.
I feel like in years past, when you guys are going through training camp and that first preseason game, finally being able to see another opponent comes up, there's an excitement because you're ready to go against someone else but yourselves. How different is that feeling now? How would you describe what that feeling is like as you guys are already facing an opponent tomorrow?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's different. This is a shorter training camp for us with regard to when the first game is, what the build-up to this camp has looked like. Not doing double sessions because of concerns of COVID and the testing, and obviously where our guys are at with it from a conditioning standpoint. So I don't really feel like this year has that same kind of, man, I can't wait to bang on another team. Because we've been beating ourselves up so much in camp.
Just wondering what you anticipate about playing in Staples Center as opposed to the games in the bubble, and how you think that mix of being in your home arena but not having it be the typical experience is going to be, and if there's anything that you mentioned along those lines as you game plan and such.
Yeah, I mean, I think there will be more of a home court advantage for teams this season than there was in the bubble because of travel, more than the in-game environment. Obviously the arena will feel more comfortable to us than to our opponents. But with no fans there, you're not really getting that energy differential. As to what to expect for what it's going to feel like, who knows? I mean, the league has said that some of the arenas are going to have the pumped-in noise, but not necessarily all of them. I don't even know what we're doing, to be honest with you. I haven't really been paying attention to that. But it's definitely going to feel different than the bubble. It's just a far bigger building, more space. So we'll just have to see how it feels.
Just 4 preseason games, just like you like it, Brez. It's going to be quick. You got tomorrow, Friday, Sunday against the Clippers, right? Those two. And then Wednesday and a week from Friday, the Suns. And then it's the regular season. How much will we be seeing LeBron and AD during the preseason, if at all?
I would guess one half of one game. I don't think we'll see him in the next game. I'd be really surprised. Maybe they jump in for game 3, just for a half, kind of get acclimated just a little bit. I mean, Frank Vogel and Rob Pelinka have been saying all along, we're going to talk to them a lot. We're going to communicate with them, with the representatives. Whatever they feel like doing, we're going to try to accommodate them. They have to play the big TV games, so they're going to be out there on the 22nd for the season opener, and then 3 days later for Dallas on Christmas Day. But maybe they start punting a couple games after that. Maybe you got the back-to-back on the 27th and the 28th. Maybe they sit out one of those 2 games.
What do you think, BT? I mean, you're not worried about them, but you do maybe want to give them a little burn, but, you want to navigate through it.
You need some time just for them to get in basketball shape, and also to have LeBron and AD to learn how to play with Marcus Gasol, to play with Montrezl Harrell, Dennis Schroeder, Wesley Matthews. Those things don't happen overnight, although I keep hearing that it's working out really good in the practice sessions. But you need both guys, AD and LeBron, to get their win, to get their game back together, their legs back together underneath them. But the key is making sure that they are healthy and they don't sustain any injuries along the way.
Now, speaking of LeBron and AD, Markieff Morris posted this on Instagram today.
Boys in the parking lot, look at them. 2 twins, look at them. Come on, close. Look at them. Niggas in the parking lot. Crazy out here in LA.
So that's Markieff Morris having some fun. You got LeBron and AD just chilling. So listen, earlier we heard Frank Vogel mention how players need to kind of adapt to playing at Staples Center with no fans. What are some of the challenges you guys foresee playing regular season games in arenas like Staples Center with no fans. Remember what it was like in the bubble, the adjustment that it took. This is going to be even much different than that.
Yeah, the bubble, small arena. Maybe you fit a couple thousand people in there, and they had the giant big screens all around, you know, the fans of the day popping in and out of the TVs down there. Now you're talking like 19,000, 20,000 seat arenas. Might be some blind spots if you're shooting jumpers with no one in the seats. It's going to be a bizarre situation. Just when you think 2020 can't get any more unique and unusual, here we go. Now they're in giant unfilled arenas.
I'm curious, BT, because the guys in the bubble, maybe they'll be a little more used to it than some of the players that did not play. But those guys talked about the mental preparation and battle just to kind of get over the fact that no one's there to fire us up. You're looking for the emotion. You can't draw off fans. It took a while for these guys to get adjusted. It's going to be even different now.
It did. But one thing about the bubble, those were playoff games. So you were playing for something. And what it took was some of their teammates that were on the bench not playing, guys like Jared Dudley, making sure that they were screaming, they were yelling, they were encouraging their teammates. When they play at Staples in a regular season game or the Lakers play in Indiana, you don't have those fans to give you that energy. You don't have opposing fans to call you a bunch of names, nasty names, to get you fired up. You don't have your own fans to kind of push you on, to cheer you on, to keep you kind of in the right groove. Not having fans, I think, would be difficult. But the Lakers went through that. So did 22 other teams in the NBA. So those teams, and especially the Lakers, I think they'll be fine. It does take some adjustment because, as Brad says, you're now playing inside of an arena that holds maybe 20,000 fans and it's empty.
Yeah, seeing games from the bubble didn't look so odd. It was a small space, hard to notice there weren't fans there at Staples Center. We're used to seeing 19,000 fans. Tomorrow night it's going to look and feel really weird. With more on the empty arena, Mark Gasol.
We haven't really talked about our situation specifically. We talked a little bit about, you know, how the other teams, some of the teams seemed like they're going to have some people at the arenas, and it goes from state to state. So that to me still brings some questions, but that's for me personal that I'd like to a little more explaining how come that some arenas they allow fans and some arenas don't understand, you know, the different laws in different states, but I think we should have the same for everyone. That's just my opinion. But, you know, that's what we talk about.
Your brother spoke to Zach Lowe and said that playing for the Lakers, playing with you is a goal of his. I guess kind of what was your reaction to that? And have you guys spoken at all about the possibility of maybe trying to play together in the NBA?
I think it's up to his health first and foremost. Pau has to be healthy and has to continue to stay healthy throughout the process of rehabbing, building that endurance and building, you know, on that continuous impact on his foot, on his bone is going to be crucial. The only way you know that is through playing. So I think he has to find a way to play a little bit, to see how his body reacts to that, and you know, I think that should be the main focus right now, instead of, you know, where he's going to play. You know, more important is, you know, is his health and how he feels and how his body reacts to the, you know, to the workload.
I speak for all three of us. We love Pau. This is a great story, but realistically, Brez, could Pau make it back and grab a spot with the Lakers?
It's going to be tough. All right, he's 40 years old, has not played in the NBA in almost 2 years. And when he did play in that last year, he wasn't averaging many points. It would be a great kind of story of redemption, because when Pau left here in 2014 to go to the Bulls, he took less money. He was ready for a change of scenery. There had been a lot of trade rumors kind of bandied about using his name for a couple years before he left. So he didn't leave in a real great way. But this would be a really nice way to kind of bring him back into the fold. Obviously, he would be towards the end of the bench. Don't need to rely on him for 25 minutes a night. And like you said, one of the best guys I've ever worked with. Always loved interviewing him and just talking to him in general.
Weigh in, BT.
I mean, I'm like Brad, it'll be difficult. The last time I spoke to Pau was in June, and nothing has really changed regarding his health. He's had 2 surgeries on his left foot. That's a difficult thing to overcome when you're 40 years old and you're trying to play the game of basketball. I mean, I hope it happens. It'd be great to have him here. But Pau also has an ego, and he should. And if he does play, I'm sure he doesn't want to sit on the end of the bench eating popcorn, talking to Mike Bresnahan at halftime. He wants to play in a meaningful game and have a meaningful role. And I just don't see that happening with him if he happens to sign a contract. But it would be great for Laker fans to see him make this one last run, because he gives you that bridge between the last championship in 2010 and he gets a chance to play with his brother again, if that happens.
Hey, BT, nice paper towel rack behind you.
Bresnahan, I cook in my house. What do you do?
Order out.
He's got a crock pot now. All right, more reaction. Non-traditional media and picture day this year. Let's get a look at some of the pictures. LeBron James, year 18. Brez, you wish you looked like that year 18, don't you, buddy?
I wish I looked like that at any time in my life. He's very pensive down there in the bottom right, though. What's he thinking about right there, Guy?
This is the media day I like. Check out the Kicks purple and gold remix. Lakers sneaker cam. That's real nice right there.
Good kicks.
AD was also looking good, BT, as you can imagine. The brow is back for take two. There's that scream that you like.
Man, he looks pensive too at the bottom. What's going on with these guys?
Must be a new look, guys. Kind of look a little pensive, a little melancholy, maybe.
Yeah, you know what I wish though, guys? I wish I had some hair like they have. I don't have any left.
BT, they can fix that. There's products out there.
And then we got Montrezl Harrell getting his first pics taken in the Lakers uni. These colors look good on you, Lakers are tweeting out. He's as happy as can be.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he still gets BT to cover him, too, so it's a win-win for Trez.
BT, follow Trez wherever he goes, BT.
Yeah, man, and he's got that hair again. Man, what's going on there? Is there a bald-headed guy on the team?
You jealous of his hair, too?
Here's Quinn Cook. The two-time champ is here. Remember, he won one with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I'm glad he's back. Good dude. Very good interview.
Earlier today, Cook talked about why he's back with the Lakers.
Me, you know, being a super fan of a team, and then me being a super fan of a player, Bron, and, you know, him being my teammate and me being on that team. I mean, I literally used to dream that every single day when I was growing up. And for me to manifest that and actually accomplish it was great. But I still have a lot to prove to myself and to this league. And last year was very motivating for me, just to see, you know, what it takes to be great in this league, seeing Rondo and Bron on an everyday basis at that, you know, point guard spot. You know, I thought I worked hard. I thought I was doing a lot, but I had to take my, you know, and I've taken my stuff to another level. And obviously me getting waived with the business, there was a lot more motivation as well. But, you know, me being very grateful to come back and then want me back. I mean, that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot to me for them to bring me back and, you know, make me feel special. And I know how much, you know, Coach believes in me. I know how much Rob, Kurt, Jeannie, I know how much they believe in me. So that meant a lot, and I want to, you know, make them proud by, you know, being ready.
I mean, I know from a media perspective, we're all happy.
Yeah.
And from a fan perspective, Quinn Cook is awesome. He appreciates where he is. He grew up a huge Laker fan. Everyone knows the story. He wears the jersey with such pride. Different circumstances all around for Cook this season. What do you think his role is going to be, Brez? Can it be different?
Yeah, I mean, look, there were a couple games last year where he came off the bench and he did score more than 20 points. So he can still fill it up on occasion. This year, though, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I mean, Schroeder is obviously, if Schroeder comes off the bench, he's going to get a massive amount of the playing time as the point guard. And Cook's going to have to just kind of wait a little bit. He played 44 games last season, you know, about two-thirds of the Lakers' games. And he might not play that many this year. But it's a good story, Guy. Remember, the Lakers initially declined to bring him back a few weeks ago. They gave him a part of his non-guaranteed contract, and then they circled back around, signed a bunch of guys, and said, you know what, we're going to bring him back. So good for him, good for the Lakers. And he did do this in Golden State. He can jump in from time to time, get you your 20 points. Don't know how many chances he will have this year to do that.
BT?
I think his big chances will come when they're resting guys. And let's hope no one can't play because of COVID. But if that happens, then that gives Quinn another chance to get some action. But as Brez says, most likely Quinn Cook is the third string point guard behind LeBron James and also behind Dennis Schroeder. But, you know, it's a long season, even though it's only 72 games, even though we don't know if they're going to complete 72 games, but the idea that you have someone who's been in the system, who knows the players, and as Brad said, who can make outside shots, and who's just a good teammate. But the number one role for him was to be a good teammate, play very hard in practice, and to prepare his teammates, and to be vocal when those fans are not there and the place is empty. He has to be one of the guys that's always cheering his teammates on, making sure they have the right energy to play in these games.
Well said. In other NBA news today, I'm not sure you guys caught this, six-time All-Star Paul George has signed a 4-year extension to stay with the Clippers. It's a max extension added on top of his $35 million deal for this season and replaces his player option for the 21-22 season. He's now guaranteed as much as $226 million over the next 5 seasons. I mean, listen, AD now sounds like a bargain. Right, BT? But listen, good for the Clippers. Good for the Clippers in all seriousness. This gets him there long term. That's a lot of money, man.
And look, it's good money. I don't care what you guys say. 190 is 190. I'd take it. Why complain? Give me $190 million. See if I complain about it. I ain't doing that. No. Look, AD did a deal the way he wanted. He felt fine with the deal he has. But let's not forget, AD can also opt out after the 4th season. And I think he'll be, 31 years old, something like that? So then if he signs another 4-year deal or a 5-year deal, he can sign for a lot more money than what he's making now. I would say this, Mike Bresnahan, I don't think those guys will be eating bubble gum at night. I think
what do you think about that, Mike Bresnahan?
Well, Broderick Turner, I think you made close to that at the LA Times. You've been there for a while. I'm sure you're climbing up on the pay raise poll over there.
Oh, he's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid. He better be anyway. Yeah. I want to be his agent if that's not the case. I'm not surprised by this. All right, the Clippers gave up a lot of draft capital to get Paul George. 5 first-round draft picks. By comparison, Lakers only gave up 3 first-round draft picks to get AD. But the bottom line is, I'm not surprised that he's staying. The Clippers, of course, they're going to offer him the max. He better be better than he was in the bubble. Not such a good run for him there, but he's a good player overall for sure.
You know BT's getting paid. That paper towel rack you were talking about cost $2K.
That's
all right, this quote from Paul George via All the Smoke podcast. Matt Barnes and Jax, I'm as locked in as you can be. Listen to Kobe on a daily basis.
Ooh,
I'm on Mother You Know What asses. All the Smoke podcast.
Credit to him. I mean, Kobe, such a motivator. You know, he always met with these guys, even when he was still playing during the offseason. Remember, he took a young Russell Westbrook under his arm, tried to help him out a little bit during the offseason. And that's great stuff from Paul right there.
Listen, Prez, last season, as we go to the Lakers here, they took a page out of the Mamba playbook and led with defense in their run for a championship. 2 key players on that Lakers defense, and you can throw in Rondo because of how he played in the playoffs, so make it 3. JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard no longer with the Lakers. So you add Trez, Gasol, Schroeder, Wes Matthews. Are the Lakers just as strong defensively? I know they're different, but can they be as good? Because that really is what won them the championship.
Yeah.
In those playoff series when they were down 1-0 twice.
Yeah. I mean, you had Dwight running around out there kind of antagonizing Nikola Jokic. You know, you had Danny Green. Didn't really shoot all that well. Didn't score a ton of points. That's not his game. But, you know, it's interesting. I hear what you say when they're different. Not nearly as much rim protection, but obviously you still have Anthony Davis. That's a good start. It's going to come down to Schroeder. How good is he on the perimeter? Scrappy guy, kind of a bulldog, doesn't take a lot of games off. And the same could be said, actually, for Montrezl Harrell. A tough guy. He's revving in the red line every time he plays, so that's going to be big when a guy like LeBron or AD is not playing that particular night, say a midseason game in Charlotte or something like that. So I think they'll be scrappier. I don't know if they'll have as many block shots and game-changing plays at the basket.
Yeah, much different. BT?
I think they can be equally as good. Number one, because the head coach, Frank Vogel, will demand that they play great defense. And everyone on that team knows they won a title by playing great defense. And let's not forget, Marc Gasol once was the Defensive Player of the Year. So he's also a good defender. Maybe doesn't block shots at the rim as well as Dwight Howard did and JaVale McGee, but he uses his body well, and he is long at 6'11". And let's not forget, Wesley Matthews is a 3-and-D guy. He's a good defender on the wing players. And a guy like Kyle Kuzma, who keeps working on his defense, will be depended upon. Alex Caruso plays good defense. And Dennis Schroeder, you now have a point guard with speed and quickness to defend all those other fast point guards out there. So I think they can be equally as good, if not better, if they get the system in place and they play basketball the right way.
All right.
In this league and did a lot of good things, but I think with this team, it's something special going. They want to compete, of course, on a high level and win titles, but they're having fun as well. So, I think I fit in perfectly. It's an honor for me to play here and try to compete for big things.
I'm just doing anything and everything I can to help compliment these guys, but they already did well. They've already shown and proven that they can win a championship without the pieces that we've added this year. So I'm just coming in looking to do anything I can to compliment that chemistry that these guys already have built. I'm ready to get in there and start creating magic with reigning NBA champions.
This opportunity presented itself. I'm a competitor. I want to win. At the highest level. And there's nothing like being wanted by the best team. I'm definitely excited for the spacing. I'm excited for the style of play. The fit worked as far as style of play. And we're here now. I can't wait to get to work.
They act as a family. They're all on the same page. They have very clear vision of what they want and how they want to do it. That's what attracted me to join the team. They're not content. They're not satisfied. They all fired up, even though it's been a quick turnaround. They all very excited and ready to go. I'm just very, very excited to be part of all that and get to work.
A busy offseason for Rob Pelinka and the world champs. LeBron and AD have a new look supporting cast. We get to see them tomorrow night. Friday, it's going to be great. The preseason opener. We know those guys are playing, so that's exciting. We love the preseason, right? I mean, it's hoops. We don't talk about it that much, Brez. We're always looking to the 22nd and all that, but still, it's a lot of fun and there's some great plays. So we're going to look back to last year's preseason for the top 10 plays. How about that?
All right.
Brad Turner and Mike Bresnahan. Number 10, KCP is going to kick us off with some hops at number 10. Throwing it down, BT. Look at KCP get up and hammer it. Let's go to number 9. Listen in.
Not what he wanted to do. He's in no man's
Shoot a three. Shoot a three.
Oh, he is going to shoot a three. JaVale, he's got it.
You know the old saying, when in doubt, shoot.
After this game, I went in the locker room and I said, "Are you going to be JaVale McThree?" And he kind of laughed at me. Yeah, that did not happen.
Check this one out, BT. Number 8. We'll do a little Access 360 with it. Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Spin. Yeah, watch him read the D, though.
I like that.
Caruso's going to cut, BT. And there's your reverse layup. Let's look at it again.
I like that. Caruso always moving, always thinking. AD with a nice dime. Ooh.
Shake and bake.
Bresnahan would have missed that shot.
No chance, Lance.
Number 7, this time AD on the receiving end. He spins off his defender. Rondo, we saw this so many times. Man, we're going to miss this, aren't we, Brez?
Yeah, those two had a really good chemistry. It's tough to see Rondo go. He got a good deal from Atlanta. I see why he grabbed it, but those two obviously had a little sixth sense right there.
Number 6, check this out, the decoy move.
So I hit my knee. I really hit my knee, and it hurt. But I went out of bounds, and I saw Draymond guarding AD, and I was like, forget the pain, I'm going to go get these buckets. So I just ran back in and got it done. But I really did bump my knee.
Remember that one, BT?
Yeah, don't hurt no more back.
Number 5, AD. Overpowering on the glass. Remember that statement he made in the opener against Golden State?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you watch it from afar for 7 years, and then you realize this guy is on the Lakers. We will be seeing a lot of that. And you know what? We did.
Number 4, LeBron and AD showing that chemistry, guys, from the preseason on. There's that little slip screen bounce pass. Yeah, pocket pass.
Pocket pass. Didn't take long for those guys to get this together. Not at all. But then you got AD. That's kind of easy.
It really is. Number 3, Access 360 again, Perez. It's Caruso to LeBron, who in midair sees an open Dwight Howard, and he's going to dump it off for the alley-oop. He sees the defender come over.
That's a nice pass. When you're in the air and you grab the ball and touch it up like that, that's hard to do. Let me tell you. I've never tried it. I never will try it. But that nice degree of difficulty. Good job by Dwight to be in position.
Remember Zach Norvell Jr.? Check it out.
Norvell puts Poole down. Norvell all the away, scores! Oh, and the bench loves it. They explode.
That's not fair.
BT fans wanted him to start last year.
Well, I'm glad he didn't. But, you know, he showed some of the stuff here.
Glad he didn't.
No, that's okay.
All right, let's go to number one play of the preseason last year.
It all started with AD. AD seen me streaking down the middle and gave me a great outlet pass to the middle where I was able to continue my momentum. I had to get it to him some way, somehow. And I didn't know it was going to result in that, but you know, my ability to pass the ball, I just wanted to get it to dead shot right on time and on target. It's one of my...
That's great.
Yes, sir.
Unreal. So let me get this right. No look.
Yep.
Over his left shoulder, all the way out to the three-point line for an easy three for Danny Green.
That's exactly what happened. Number one play.
Pretty nice.
Of the preseason. Yeah. 2019.
I get it.
Seems so long
Not
ago.
bad.
I like JaVale's ouch play,
Seems so
too.
long ago, doesn't it?
It was like 3 years ago.
Wow. All right, 4 preseason games coming up, 2 against the Clippers, 2 against our director, Brian Bergen's Suns. What's the Lakers' biggest preseason storyline for you, BT?
You know, it'll be load management, really. Trying to figure out who's going to play, who doesn't play, how long guys get a chance to play in a game, and when will AD and LeBron James actually play in a preseason game? It won't be tomorrow night. Will it be Sunday against the Clippers? I don't think so. I'm with Bresnahan. I think it will happen when they play at Phoenix, either game 3 at Phoenix or perhaps game 4, maybe both of those games, but not long minutes.
Brez?
Yeah, kind of similar to what BT is saying. You know, to me, the biggest preseason storyline, how do you blend all these new faces in there? And it's not like guys who are going to be at the end of the bench for the Lakers, presumably 1 starter, maybe even 2, depends what Frank Vogel wants to do. How do you get these guys going? You know, fewer games than usual, 4 instead of 6 in the preseason. The same thing for the regular season. You want to sit guys out. It's preseason. No one remembers this. It was fun to watch the top 10, but I didn't really remember any of those preseason plays from last year. You just got to make sure the guys get out there and get to know each other a little bit. This team is not built for the regular season, obviously not for the preseason. Like you, Chris McGee, it is built for the playoffs. That's what you got to keep in mind.
Built for the playoffs,
that's going to start at the end of May. But just, you know, just get to know each other a little bit, I guess.
All right, let's stick with the preseason mode on the storylines here. Which Laker are you most looking forward to seeing play during the preseason, BT? We got 4 games. Who do you want to see the most?
Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
Because Kyle Kuzma wants to be a starter in this league. And perhaps if he plays well, this could lend itself to him being a starter and actually making a lot of money for years to come. But the idea that he wants to prove to everyone that he can start alongside LeBron James and AD, that he's improved on his defense, his ball handling, his all-around skills. Kuzma is a guy that I want to see, and I want to see him play the game the right way and to just let the game come to him. This is year 4 coming up for him. I think he's ready, but he gets a chance to battle for that position, and we'll see if he can be the starter long term.
I don't say this a lot, but BT, that was a good answer. I wish I'd thought of that. I'm going to go with Schroeder.
That's rare for you to say that.
I know. I got to give props to him.
You're class.
I'm going to go with Schroeder. All right, OKC was done almost 6 weeks before the Lakers were in the bubble. Remember, they lost in the first round. It went 7 games, lost by only 2 to Houston, but he's had a little bit more time than the rest of the Lakers to kind of get himself together. Motivated for sure. You know, is he going to start? Is he going to come off the bench? What's that going to look like? We know he wants to start. Obviously, Frank Vogel is going to make he's going to make that decision. And how's that 3-point touch? You know, career high, 39% for Schroeder last season. It's only the preseason, but how does it look for him behind the arc? Just in the month of December here.
You know what? Both of you had great answers. Finally, the top 10 from ESPN's player rankings are out. 100 players in the NBA, and today they released the top 10. The Lakers have the top 2 spots with LeBron and AD. How about that? Last year, Giannis claimed the top spot. Remember, Kawhi was 2. I believe LeBron was 3. But he has reclaimed the title. It's the 9th time in 10 years on ESPN's list. LeBron James has been number 1. You see the rest of the top 10 right there. It's pretty darn good. Giannis, how about Luka jumping to 4? Kawhi, KD, Dame, Lillard, Steph, James Harden, and Jokic.
Where's Caruso?
Caruso's 12th, I believe. Okay. So listen, AD was 5th on that list. After 1 season together, they're now 1-2. What do you think? Did they get it right? Do they deserve to be 1-2 on this list, Brez? What are you going to say?
They got it right. The other day on the show, I predicted Giannis would be 1 and those guys would be 2 and 3 because there's kind of like a media bias towards Giannis. People love him. All right, he got the MVP in a landslide. He got the Defensive Player of the Year award in a landslide. AD should have got several more votes than he did. He was a distant second. I figured ESPN would kind of fall into that trap. We love Giannis. Might be his last year in Milwaukee. He's young. He's good at both ends. ESPN got it right. Those two guys should have vaulted from 3 and 5 to 1 and 2.
BT, KD is back. Guys are motivated. Kawhi is motivated. Giannis got knocked out. Are you going 1 and 2, LeBron, AD?
Hey, man, I'm motivated. How about that? Okay? No, I am. When you win an NBA championship, obviously there's a reason behind that, and that's because of AD and LeBron James. What I am a little surprised by is that KD was 6 only because he hasn't played a whole year. So if he hasn't played, how good is he really? He was not any good last year because, well, he didn't play in the game.
Yeah. I think you got to
So
kind of
that's
put him
my
there
only
just because
surprise.
we don't know yet.
We just don't know yet. But AD and LeBron James won a title, 1 and 2. So that's the best ranking for them to be in right now, without a doubt.
So listen, ESPN counted out the top 100. The Lakers not only had 1 and 2, they ended up having 6 total players make that list. Montrezl Harrell came in at 76. KCP was 77. Dennis Schroeder, 79. Marc Gasol still on that top 100.
Still holding on.
They had him at 96. Pretty impressive roster right there, Brez.
Yeah, it's a testimony to the Laker front office. You know, we've talked about them time and again on these shows. They did a lot of really good work with not a lot of capital. It's not like they had a good young lottery player who was on the team in the last year or two, not getting a ton of time that they could dangle. I mean, they turned Danny Green and a late first-round pick into Dennis Schroeder. And then they went out and they signed Montrezl Harrell with their big free agent tool, spending-wise. I didn't even consider him. I figured he was going to be back with the Clippers for like 17, 18, 19 million a year. I mean, these have been coups for the Lakers to get these guys filled in with Wesley Matthews. Great work. And Marc Gasol, of course, great work by the Laker front office.
Go ahead, BT.
Without a doubt, this is why the Lakers are the favorites to repeat. And as Brad says, Rob Pelinka did a great job. But let's not forget Kurt Rambis. He was also involved in this. He's just a special assistant. But the idea that they have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys in the top 100? I mean, Bresnahan could make the top 1 million on anyone's board. But we do have this right here with these guys. And I think ESPN got it right. Why not agree with them sometimes? Like I don't agree with Bresnahan any of the time. But it's good for the Lakers because now they know they have weapons up and down the board. Everywhere you can look, center, guard, forwards, off the bench, starting. They will be a tough team to beat.
Listen, fellas, the season starts in just under 2 weeks, right, Brez? December 22nd. It's coming. We have friends that watch this show that you want to hear about other teams. So let's take the Lakers out of it. What's your most intriguing NBA storyline? You can go first, BT.
Well, it's Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant in Brooklyn. They also have a first-year coach, Steve Nash. I want to see how they put that team together. They have a lot of talent on that team, but they're in a pretty good, tough conference. Let's be honest now. The East is not weak. They're tough up top with Boston, Milwaukee. Philadelphia will be better. But those two guys have won titles. They're playing together for the first time because KD's coming back from injury. Kyrie didn't play their full season because he was hurt. How they learn to merge and get consistency together will be the key to them. They will be tough to beat. But I want to see how they get it all mixed with a first-year coach, Steve Nash.
Brez, what about for you? Number one storyline.
BT's going to take KD's new team. I'm going to go with his old team, the Golden State Warriors. Yep. What are they going to do? No Klay Thompson. We all know that by now. Shattering news up there in the Bay Area. But still, are they going to be maybe like a top 5 team in the West? Are they going to be in the play-in to get a playoff spot? Or are they just going to kind of say, you know, we're kind of a middling, maybe barely squeaking in. Maybe we just kind of rest the guys for the rest of the year and go for another lottery pick. Fascinated to see what they do. I think they have too much talent to not make the playoffs, or at least the 10-team play-in. Remember, it's 10 teams this year. Kind of a cool concept. But curious to see what happens up there. Still can't believe Klay out for another year.
Still makes me sad, Brez.
Yeah,
Still makes
awful,
me sad.
Awful.
All right, great stuff from you guys. What a year for LeBron James. Another NBA championship, another MVP Finals award, and now he's been named by Time Magazine as the Athlete of the Year, not just for his work on the court, but for his voice during racial injustice and for launching More Than a Vote, a much-deserved honor. And we've said it repeatedly, and it's worth acknowledging once again. LeBron James has used his platform, guys, to inspire people and work for change. And his legacy off the court is perhaps greater than what he does on the court, Brez.
Yeah, and what an honor for him. You know, it's one thing to be the SI Person of the Year, but now you're talking Time Magazine, obviously a big crossover there for him, and much deserved. I realize how important this guy was off the court right after the Lakers acquired him, you know, a couple of years ago via free agency, and he announced the I Promise charter school back in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, and that was a big investment. You know, some people reported upwards of $50 million. And so that's a big, big deal right there for him to do something like that. And, of course, it's continued since then with the Get the Vote Out initiative, trying to get arenas throughout the country open for the big election day last month. This guy can do – there's not much more he can do off the court than he already has. Very impressive.
BT?
The idea that LeBron James decides he doesn't mind being uncomfortable, he doesn't mind stepping out of his comfort zone, and that the idea that people will criticize him for not just shutting up and dribbling the basketball, you have to respect that. He has athletes, entertainers now educating themselves. He has a younger generation of people and young men and women now understanding what it takes to be successful, to give a part of yourself to understand that it's not just about playing a sport. It's just not about singing or rapping or whatever you do. You could always do more to help your community out. And that's why I think he was the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, because he's willing to put himself out there to help others.
You know, we've seen big changes in LeBron over the years. Like all of us, he's learned some things along the journey. After winning his 4th NBA title, he questioned those who still doubt him, and Talk expanded on that when he joined us in studio for Road Tripping.
It's the people on TV and there's writers that write that people in the basketball world really listen to. And they really believe. And I'm not going to give any of those names on this show because they don't deserve it.
You want me to? No, I'm joking.
I'll retweet it when you tweet it.
Okay.
God.
That continue to discredit or continue to not to understand what, you know, the drive that I put into it. You know, they talk about these players, well, he doesn't have that same drive as them, or he doesn't have that same mentality as those. If he did, and they see what I continue to accomplish. So, you know, it was a reassurance to myself, but it was also like to the naysayers and to the haters, which will always be there, even after I'm done playing.
I'm always going to be right here.
And to Channing.
Right here.
Yeah, you know, I hear it, I see it, and just like one of the words I've been using today, holding them accountable.
Yeah.
And I'm holding them accountable.
Listen, Kobe, Jordan, Tiger, Brady, whomever, all the greats, they use any slightest motivation. They remember everything. Does LeBron still have something to prove in your eyes?
No, but here's going to be his personal challenge, because you know he's going to try to think of something to get him motivated for this year. He had another good quote on that Road Tripping podcast. He said, hey, has anyone ever done what I've done as far as winning 2 really difficult championships? You had the one 4 years ago against Golden State, first team ever to come back from 3-1 in the finals to win it all. And then you had this year, the longest NBA season ever, took turns that nobody could have ever fathomed. Now he can say, all right, shortest layoff ever for any championship team. So he can kind of motivate himself by that. Go ahead, LeBron, use that if you'd like. But that would be just another thing. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. But if he does get that one for the thumb this year, he could, again, say short layoff, another long championship run.
None of these guys ever have anything to prove. I agree with Brez. But I think LeBron, like so many of these greats, you have to have that thing that gets you up and working
Whatever
out. If not, you'd be on the beach drinking a margarita like BT in Baja.
Look, people think he's too old to win another championship. He'll be 36 at the end of this month. So what he has to prove is to himself that, yes, I can win a title. I can win another one, the 5th one. Brez, he signed a 2-year contract extension. He didn't sign that just to hang out and drink margaritas with you in studio on the beach. He wants to, it can be. I've seen that before. He wants to win at least 3 more championships while he's under contract. So that's what he's trying to prove, that he can do that with the Lakers, and he can do that for himself. And if he wins 3 more, Brez, how many will that be, Mike Bresnahan?
Same as Robert Horry?
7.
Same as Robert Horry.
Yes, but